Good afternoon. Lights came on.
Okay, now it is.
Okay, I now have been authorized by the city clerk to begin the meeting. It is now 2 o'clock, and I'd like to call to order the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust meeting for September 23rd, 2025. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the September 9th meeting. Any questions or comments regarding the minutes? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval? Having a motion and a second. And it passes unanimously. There are 16 items on the consent docket this morning. There are several plans and specifications going out. There are a few amendments and change orders, and several pipeline licenses on the consent docket. Are there any items that the trustees would like to pull for individual consideration? Is there a motion to approve the consent docket? And it passes. Next up is concurrence docket. There are 5 items on the concurrence docket. There are items that went before the McGee Creek Authority meeting 2 weeks ago, I guess, that Mr. Stonecipher helped get us through. And are there any items on the concurrence docket?
It was a good meeting.
Good, good. I understand you had, or the meeting was actually at the McGee Creek headquarters this time, which is the first time we've been there for a while.
A nice facility, really nice.
And I understand Mexican food was served.
Dietetic.
All right. Maybe more detail than we needed. Is there a motion to approve the concurrence docket? And it passes. There are no emergency contracts today. Next up is our items for individual consideration. The first are plans and specification to be advertised for pipeline interim surge stations at Colgate, Ada, and Macomb pump stations. Andrew, you just give us a quick brief scope of this project?
Sure. So along the new Atoka pipeline, we have 4 facility projects that we were doing. So 3 of those are pump stations. This 4th one is the interim surge. So it is located at the 3 pump stations that were skipped to help mitigate surge as those pump stations are working along the pipeline. So.
Okay, and so the surge, there's 3 silos on each pump station right now that, I mean, they look like silos that provide surge. Will we continue in providing surge protection in that manner?
That was the old system,
Yeah.
so we replaced that system. They're now a tank. They're air over water tank, so that they run off of a compressor building. And if we ever have a power outage and there's water moving through that pipeline, that water that is held in those tanks can go into the pipeline to help mitigate and limit the amount of surge that we have. So a little bit different than those old silo tanks that you.
So are they gone?
Say that again.
Are the old ones gone?
They are.
All
They
right.
were replaced pre-COVID with the project
Okay.
to go to the similar type of system with the existing pipeline with these.
Because they really look bad. All right, any other questions for Andrew? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve item 6A? And it passes. Item 6B is the annual financial report. Alex?
Alex Fedak, Controller Finance. I wanted just to point out some key items from the FY24 audit of note. Our auditors, Alan Gibbs and Hulik, met with the City Audit Committee back on August 26th. Did everybody get a copy of the press report? Okay, on page 5 is where they issued the opinion. And the second paragraph really is the main part of the opinion where they say the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the respective financial position. That's the keynote. That's the opinion you're used to getting every year, and that's the opinion you got this year. Next, I'd like to draw your attention to page 62. What's different about this year's audit is there was a finding, and the auditors issued an overarching finding for the city and some of the various trusts. And what that means is they found some accounting adjustments that were required, basically items that were in FY25 that needed to be moved back to 24. The city put those into our GL, into our financial statements, and therefore we were issued the unqualified clean opinion. The other thing I'd like to do is acknowledge utility staff. I really appreciate the help that they provided this year. It was a challenging year with the ERP changeover, and they did a really great job with helping our staff reach this final result. So.
Vanessa Aguilar for the Utilities Department. I'll also provide a financial summary of the FY 2024 Aqua financials that you have before you.
Vanessa, can we stop for a second?
Yes.
I have a question for Alex.
Okay.
Back to the material weakness. It all has to do with the timing of entries because of the implementation of the new Oracle
There were
accounting system.
transactions that were for services rendered in 24 that were in 25 that just needed to be journalized with an accounting entry back
Right.
to 24. The auditors recognized that, and we put that into the system. So therefore, the 24 financial statements are materially correct after our adjustment. So
Okay,
that makes sense.
right, but it had to do with the new implementation of the
Yes,
soft-
yes,
the
that's why
software.
they-
And I mean, difficult, but there was nothing that was, nobody was trying to manipulate anything. It was a time
Right,
right.
there's
and
no
it's been
money
rectified
missing, no
this time.
revenues missing. It was because of the lack of reporting is the
Yeah.
best way. We're building up our reporting. Our old system, we had 20 years worth of reports that we were able to build up, started fresh and after this implementation. So it was extracting the data out, and that was the main issue.
Okay, thank you, that's helpful.
So my understanding, it was due to the changeover of systems that caused this to occur and shouldn't happen in the future.
Very good. Thank you. All right, Vanessa.
And in addition, for the FY24 financial, just to give you a snapshot of the financial summary, on page 12, we do have a table of the summary of changes to the net position. And so on there, we can point out for FY 2024, overall position increased by approximately $125 million. Operating revenues for FY 24 were approximately $451.9 million, less operating and non-operating expenses of $330.8 million, and about $4.5 million of capital contributions as well. The overall management discussion and analysis starts on page 9, which is very helpful to accompany the financial statements, which are on page 20. And with that, we're happy to answer any additional questions you may have.
Questions for Vanessa? Seeing none, I guess we accept the annual financial report. So I would entertain a motion to do so. And it passes. Items from trustees, anything this afternoon? General manager reports?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Lake levels are not too bad for this time of year. We are going down a little bit. Hefner's about a half a foot down. Draper's just over a foot down. Atoka's 2.7, and McGee Creek is 0.64, which is negligible for down there. The only other thing, in response to the annual financial report, definitely want to thank Vanessa and her team and Alex and the city finance department, because there's been a lot of work that have went into compiling that and making sure that we ended up where we did again this year. A lot of hurdles they've had to jump through, so definitely thanks to all the financial staff for getting that done. I have nothing else, sir.
All right, any questions? I'm not aware of any citizens signed up to speak. No further business before the trust, therefore we are adjourned.